morning in 8 minutes, getting you ready to get out the door with your first alert forecast.
Yeah, and Heather, you have a tip on where a small dip in humidity makes a big difference in our comfort.
All right, guys, you know what we're going to do today? We're going for a hike.
Oh,
You ready?
Whitney is. She's got her boots right there in the makeup room.
Yeah,
I do not.
Switching from the high heels to the hiking boots. Let's go, guys. The difference here is that up top, and because we're closer to that drier air, it actually can make a good 20-25 degree difference in the afternoon high. So I don't know, I think it's worth it. Even if you don't love a hike, let's go up a few thousand feet. Because at Max Patch, for example, 4,600 feet up, Knoxville's elevation about 800 feet above sea level, 79 degrees and sunny. Oh, you can go up even higher. How about Mount LeConte, almost 6,600 feet. Now you do actually travel up into those few clouds when you get up that high, but it'll be 70 degrees up there. So yes, the mountains hugging that drier air, there's actually going to be a really big difference in temperature today from down low to up high.
How much is it worth it, Heather? Appreciate it. Well, there are a lot of changes coming to East Tennessee's Juvenile Center, including new leadership.
Brian Bivens is taking over for Richard L. Bean. Bivens tells us he plans to make changes ranging from staffing positions to the equipment used. He says staff does not have emergency buttons on their radios. Bivens wants to get that fixed quickly. Another big thing is changing the security system, including cameras. He wants to get staff better training to do any job there and provide more structure. He also wants to stick to the book on a lot of these changes. The American Correctional Association has guidelines for juvenile centers, and his goal is to stick with those to make it better for
where you can get a bunch of back-to-school supplies without paying the government too. That includes clothing $100 or less, the same thing for school supplies. For electronics, $1,500 or less. This is for both in-store and online purchases. Some restrictions are in place though. All items must be purchased for personal, not business use. Also this morning, trade school enrollment is on the rise as high school graduates are finding alternatives to traditional four-year universities.
A new survey shows 1 in 3 U.S. adults are now advising high school seniors to go to trade school. The National Student Clearinghouse says trade school enrollment nationwide is up 20% in the past 5 years, while four-year university enrollment is slowing down. The numbers match up locally in Knoxville, according to TCAT Knoxville President Kelly Cheney, who says enrollment rates at their school have seen a big jump. It's also easier to find jobs because industry employers say they're always looking. Trade school is especially recommended for hands-on learners. You can learn more inside your WVLT News app. Well, a sentence of life in prison for the man who pleaded guilty to murdering 4 college students at their rental home in Idaho in 2022.
In court Wednesday, the families of the victims and their surviving roommates confronted 30-year-old Brian Kohberger, sharing words of sadness, anger, and even forgiveness. Earlier this month, the 30-year-old pleaded guilty, sparing him from the death penalty. Investigators say they tried for years but haven't been able to find a connection between the killer and his victims. Given a chance to speak Wednesday, Kohberger simply replied, "I respectfully decline." He is now sentenced to 4 consecutive life sentences. He waived his right to appeal his sentence. And right now, the Knox County Health Department reporting the first 2 cases of a mosquito-borne virus that sometimes inflames children's brains. It's called the lacrosse virus.
Yeah, like you said, it comes from a mosquito bite. 2 cases happened this month in Knox County. The health department telling us both kids were hospitalized and are now recovering at home. Health officials tell us the virus does not cause symptoms in most people, saying the virus is reason for concern, but not panic. They say the best way to avoid this is to use bug spray that has specific ingredients in it, like DEET, to help deter the certain mosquitoes that carry the virus. We've got all the details on what you need to know inside your WVLT News app.
Meanwhile, we've been telling you that some of the nation's smartest minds in East Tennessee are here for the annual Nuclear Opportunities Workshop. Now we're getting a look at the Oak Ridge National Lab's new manufacturing demonstration facility. ORNL collaborating with Kairos Power and Barnard Construction, using 3D printing to create concrete structures. The National Lab telling us it's all possible because of support from the Department of Energy. The 3D printed concrete is the first step in developing the methods they will use to build a new reactor.
Well, make your plans to get outside, because happening today in Knox County, Park and Play is back. They're going to have things for your kids like giant board games, scavenger hunts, arts and crafts too. It's all free. Today is the second to last Park and Play of the summer. It's happening at Coreyton Park from 9:30 to 11:30. It is 6:54. We want to get a check of your first alert traffic with Olivia Calpe.
Yeah, Whitney, good news. We are up to speed as we get you all ready to head out the door this Thursday morning. Starting out with the live look in West Knoxville at Walker Springs. You can see quite a few cars out there in those east and westbound lanes, but we are moving as we should be. I-75 at Merchant Drive, that area that typically picks up congestion first. We are still moving in those north and southbound lanes. One more look, 640 west of downtown, not seeing any issues there. So that's some great news. Taking a look at the map so you can see where you're driving in from. Closer on into Knoxville, those morning commute hotspots. We're still moving along.
5 minutes to 7, kicking off your Thursday morning here again with some beautiful views. If you're not looking at your screen, I promise you you'll want to. Look at these couple of clouds drifting by as the sun's coming up over the Smokies. A little bit less of a haze this morning because of that small dip in humidity that's especially hugging the mountains. North Carolina side's kind of hogging it all. Tri-Cities catching some of that, so that's how close we are to that difference. But it does make a temperature difference for along the mountains, far northeast Tennessee. It's 72 in Knoxville, right at that first alert forecast for the low, 71 Crossville, 73 Williamsburg, but 62 Rogersville and 68 Greenville. So yes, that's where the line of very muggy air cuts off, and that's why we have this temperature difference this morning. So it may impact your comfort. You might notice a small dip for the rest of our area, but most of us are stepping out to that very muggy air, which means the temperature starts stepping up and feeling hotter at 10 a.m. Those 10 a.m. 81 degrees feels like 86. Charting this out noon, 87 feels like 93. So warming up to 95 today in Knoxville feels like 100. That's why that humidity is such a big impact on us. Of course, starting in the morning on those lows, just like this morning with those small differences. And then in the afternoons, feeling hotter. I do think we are limited to just a stray shower or storm this evening. And then we'll have those spotty afternoon pop-ups and evening pop-ups Friday into your weekend. So definitely still a steamy pattern to a little better rain chance later next week in your First Alert 8-day planner.
All right, Heather, thank you so much. It is back to school time in Tennessee. Our Aaron Rodgers getting you ready to, pay the price. What's that going to cost? Coming up on the CW.